Hello, V Squad, and welcome back to another episode of VGIRLTV. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done one of these sit down videos in so long, and I honestly really had no intention to do any more of these videos. I just don't feel like, I don't even know if I should go into the reason. Well, maybe I can just do that in another video, why I am no longer going to do videos more so, or like sit down videos about Panama. But let's just stick to the topic at hand for today. Maybe in the next vlog, I'll give you guys an explanation as to why I no longer do these kind of sit down videos, or why I slow down on doing these type of sit down videos. If my face is greasy, it's because I just came out the shower, and you know I have my skin issues, so I put all my good goods on my face, so I'm a little bit greasy. But anyway, so basically in this video I'm going to be talking about why why my family chose, or why we choose not to speak to Amir in Spanish in the household. Okay, I know it sounds crazy because we're in Panama. Usually when people come with small children that speak English, they want their kids to speak Spanish, which is obvious. Okay, we are in a Spanish speaking country, and if the kids know how to speak Spanish, it makes their life so much easier maneuvering in Panama. But Amir's been here since he was 5 years old. Of course, he was traveling back and forth since he was a young baby, but permanently he's been here since he was 5 years old. And my father always would say, in the house, we speak English. Outside, you speak Spanish with your friends. And at first, I didn't really understand why, but it wasn't until later on I realized the importance of speaking English in the household. So, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch my other video about the division between Afro-Antillians and Afro-Panamanians. I will actually link it in the description box, so I might just put it up here so you guys can check out that video, so you can understand where I'm going with this video, and then you can come back to this video. But it's super important that you watch that video, okay? So basically, when Amir first came to Panama, he goes to a school that's bilingual, where it's supposed to be mostly English, but all the kids that attend the school, they speak Spanish. So a lot of times they're not supposed to speak English in class, Spanish in class, I'm sorry. But a lot of the times, because that's the kids' first language or their native language, they have a tendency of speaking Spanish in school, even though they're supposed to, or they speak it in the hallway, okay? So my parents are obviously Panamanian. For those of you who've been following me for the longest, you already know that. And they are from Colombia. They are descendants of Caribbean and West Indian people. So basically, in my parents' days, they had to speak English, and there was a law here in Panama that was put in place that anybody who lived in Panama must speak Spanish. So a lot of times, not in my parents' generation, okay, but in the generation, well, my generation, like my cousins, a lot of my cousins, they do not speak English, okay? And it had a lot to do with adapting or blending in with society, which is not always a bad thing, okay, to say the least. Of course you want to blend in, but sometimes blending in can actually set you back, okay? And I say this because there are so many opportunities here in Panama if you speak English, okay? A lot of the high-paying jobs here in Panama require you to speak English. A lot of people that are in high power, they are bilingual. Some people are even trilingual, okay? So we always felt like I would be doing an injustice to my son if I allowed him to speak only Spanish and forget the English. For example, when Amir first started school, you know, he was interacting. And that's another thing. Kids that young, they pick up on languages faster than an adult would. So this video is not really intended for kids that are like, you know, 14, 15, 16 that already are embedded in languages. This is really for small children because small children are very impressionable. So like I was saying, when he turned 5 years old and he started going to school, the kids spoke Spanish. Okay, when he took the bus, they all speak Spanish. And then we started to realize that Amir no longer wanted to speak English, okay? Because he wanted to interact with the other kids. And then my dad was like, no, we're not doing that, okay? In this house, you speak English. Outside with your friends, when you're on the bus, you are allowed to speak Spanish, which is fine. But as long as you're in the house, you're going to speak English, you're going to watch TV in English, because when kids are so young like that, they kind of forget, or they end up not wanting to speak the language. And it's 100% true. I'm not making this up because I see it with my cousins, I see it with my cousins' kids, that their parents spoke English. They don't speak English because they're now embarrassed, or their parents were talking to them in Spanish and not English. So they know nothing about English, okay? Anywhere you go in the world, if you speak multiple languages, you're obviously going to have a better opportunity than someone that does not, or that only speaks one language. I was having an argument with a friend of mine, and we were talking about successful people and how successful people in life, they speak 2 languages or they speak 3 languages. And he turns to me and says, okay, that's not true. Does Bloomberg speak English? Does Bloomberg speak Spanish? And I'm like, yeah, Bloomberg does speak Spanish. For those of you who do not know who Bloomberg is, okay, Michael Bloomberg, Google him, okay? He is a very successful businessman in New York City. And although Bloomberg Spanish is not perfect,
movilizarse es muy peligroso quedarse en esta área y estará volando.
And he has like an accent, he still speaks Spanish. Like, he can hold a whole conversation in Spanish. So I think it's super important that if you decide that you're going to move to Panama and you're going to come with small children, do not allow your children to lose the English language. They're going to speak Spanish, okay? Everyone that I know that have small children, or that have small children that lived here in Panama, their kids eventually learn how to speak Spanish. The problem is that when they speak Spanish, a lot of times, if you don't enforce it as a parent, they're no longer going to want to speak English, okay? And then that is where the problem lies. So that's why in my household, that is why in my parents' household, we don't allow Amir to speak English. And that's just my personal choice, okay? I'm not forcing this ideology onto anyone else. This is just something that I do. You can take it with a grain of salt, because I know how some of you guys can get in the comment section. You guys like to try to rip me into shreds, okay? But again, this is just what I do. I'm not telling you that you should do it. It's just for you to see things from a different perspective, and maybe you can apply it to your life. Maybe you shouldn't apply it to your life. What's good for the goose is not good for, may not be good for the gander, but it's something that works for me, and I'm just sharing this information with you. So thank you as always for tuning in, guys, and as usual, peace and love.